I'm going to use the cold front that we're experiencing in Jamaica and other parts of the world to illustrate something of deeper significance, especially growing up as a child in the 90s. So recently I was on a call with some persons overseas and I was sharing with the group that, Jamaica is cold and persons are cold. I was cold. And one of the persons who is in another country that is known to be cold said, "Oh, what they're calling cold is nothing compared to us. They're just not used to it or whatever it is." And somebody else came on the group and said, "No, they are actually cold. This is the degree that they're experiencing, and right now we're not experiencing this in this country." Both of them are in the same country, by the way. No, I didn't fault any of them. I didn't feel any way. But having been watching some videos, I noticed that there are some comments below the videos. For example, I watched one where somebody commented that, "Oh, what they call this degree," it's joke, and they play some emojis in the comments, section, and persons have been liking those comments who are saying that what Jamaica is experiencing is nothing compared to what they experience where they are. And while that is so, I want to speak to a bigger issue. As I said, growing up in the 90s as a child, what I've noticed is that whenever you have faced some trauma or, verbal or physical, um, whatever it is, abuse, and unfortunately for some, sexual abuse and so on. And even as an adult or even as a child, it's worse as a child when you try to express it. You know, this happened to me, this hurt me, this was painful for me. A lot of people, instead of listening and empathizing with the person, the child, or even the adult, what we are known to do is to quickly interject or interpose our own thing and to compare, to say, "Oh, that's nothing, man. You should have seen what I am going through, or I went through, or this happened to me. That is nothing. What you experience is nothing." And we use our trauma to override, for want of a better word, the other person's trauma without acknowledging, empathizing, listening with care and concern, but to just minimize and dismiss the other person's pain. And I'm saying, where does this end? For example, what I'm talking about is, say, for example, we could have a percentage for pain, and this person expressed that they have experienced 10% pain, but they didn't put it that way. I'm just putting it that way. And somebody said, "That's 10%. That's nothing, man. It's only 10%. I experienced 50% pain." And you dismiss the 10% pain or the 10-degree pain, whatever it is. And you're saying that you had pain because you had 50% or 50-degree pain. But what I'm saying to you is, what if somebody else comes along and say to you, "No, but that's nothing, man. 50% pain. I had 80% pain." And it goes on and on until somebody says, "Oh, I had 1,000,000% pain," for example. And I'm saying, where does it end? We have to stop, imposing or, dismiss imposing our pain to reduce or minimize or dismiss the other person's pain, because we are experiencing, or we have experiencing, something different from them. It could be that it all depends on the person. That even though it's 1 degree to you, it's something traumatic to the person. And so the next time somebody says to you that, "I am experiencing this," or "this is hurting me," You don't have to say that, oh, that's nothing. And when somebody said, a popular one is that when person said, oh, somebody died for them, the other person said, oh, I lost 2 family members. Come on, we have to do something about. We need to rein in that type of mentality, and we need to shut our mouths when we don't know what to say. Okay? Not because you're not cold, it doesn't mean that. Not because your place is colder, it doesn't mean that Jamaicans or persons in other countries who are experiencing the cold front is not cold.